Let's bring you the latest this hour from the nation's capital, where the Supreme Court has again restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria and commercial banks from stopping the use of old naira notes as legal tender pending hearing of a substantive suit, which it has now adjourned till Wednesday, the 22nd of February. The seven-man panel was led by Justice John Okoro, who said the court has not lost sight of the case and its intention as it affects the suffering of Nigerians. At the last hearing, the court had temporarily banned the implementation of the February the 10th deadline of the CBN from making the old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes legal tender. The Zamfara, Kogi, and Kaduna states thereafter instituted a suit against the federal government and the CBN. Other states, Niger, Kano, Ondo, Ekiti, also applied to be joined in a suit against the CBN and the federal government. Lagos State, through its Attorney General, Moyosoro Nigbanjo, also applied seeking to be joined in the suit. Now, for more on this ruling, former second Vice President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Monday Ubani, joins me now in the news. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to start by asking you, because I'm sure that a lot of Nigerians are also wondering, what is the implication of this new order if the first one wasn't even obeyed in the first place?
Well, I think, going by what you have just said, the Supreme Court has reiterated the earlier interim order that he gave, that the deadline of usage of the old currency is still extended. Because that's what it means, because it was supposed to have ended on the 10th of February, but the Supreme Court granted an interim order saying that deadline is not feasible until he hears the application on notice, because there's a motion on notice. That motion on notice was bid for today, being 15th, but maybe because of the several other states that are joining in this case, that may have accounted for the adjournment to 22nd of February in order to have all the papers in, and that the court now will be fully seized of the matter in order to take all the applications and take all the primary objections or whatever the parties have filed. I think that may have accounted for this particular adjournment. But the court reiterated the fact that the interim order is still in operation, even though we are aware that the central bank governor yesterday was still talking about 10th of February when he had a meeting with the foreigners that are here, the corps of foreigners that were here, and he was saying that they are sticking to their deadline of 10th of February, which to me means that they are in clearly breach of the judgment of the interim order of the Supreme Court.
And I want to get to that in just a moment, but let me also ask you, because it's, states like Zamfara, for example, has said anyone refusing to accept the old naira notes will be arrested. Now, we know that when it comes to currency, coinage, and legal tenders, that is basically on the exclusive list. Do the state governors or can the state governors rather enforce the Supreme Court order?
Now, any order that is made by the court or any Supreme Court for that matter is binding on all authorities, persons in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, the only body that can also hold anyone in contempt is the same court that made that order, and that is the Supreme Court. Now, you cannot arrest somebody for a crime that is not yet defined in your law book as a crime. That is the law in Nigeria. If you are now going to arrest and prosecute, what will be the law you will use to prosecute that individual? Because it may be very difficult unless you are probably going to use general law to now say this is the offense the person has committed. So I doubt whether
just to quickly make that correction, Mr. Monday Ubani, I think what the state government said rather was that the business will be shut down, not that the person will be arrested. I just wanted to make that correction.
Oh, okay, fine. That you are going to probably revoke their licenses, and I hear that kind of a thing to operate in the state. Yes, they may have a reason to revoke their license and all that, but also remember that those people may likely go to court. So it now become a litigation issue as to whether the state government will have absolute right, being a matter that is an exclusive list, to have gone ahead now to revoke the license of those who are operating, in their domain based upon the fact that they don't comply with the Supreme Court authority. What I think that should be done is that I think that the Attorney General of the Federation, who is the chief legal advisor of the Federation, should advise the central bank, because he is the party, and he has made a statement that they will comply with that order. So I see no reason why the Attorney General will say we will comply, and then the Central Bank of Nigeria, that is clearly a central bank under the Federation of Nigeria, is saying they are not bound by that order because they were not joined as a party. The chief legal advisor, the chief legal officer of the Federation has been joined, and he has made a commitment that they will comply. So I think that the federal government should speak up and put the central bank authorities to where they belong. That there is a subsisting interim order of the Supreme Court that everything must be suspended with the issue of deadline concerning the usage of the old currency until all the applications that are before the court are heard and determined on merit. That is the position of the law. I see no reason why any lawyer will prescribe anarchy. I see no reason why the central bank governor will be now advocating for anarchy. Because if you are telling the entire world that you are not obeying your Supreme Court order, I don't know what message you are passing to the outside world. It's clearly illegal. People are bringing sentiment in this thing, because there is a reason for that particular redesignation of our currency is targeted at politicians. I tell you this, no politician is affected adversely. It is the masses that are suffering. I just had a job somebody had done for me now for 2005. I want to do transfer. He said, no, he needs cash. Because he will take 425 to buy the same money. So everyone is suffering. And somebody is telling me about politicians. Politicians are not affected. It is Nigerians that have been affected by this.
Indeed, Mr. Monday Ubani, we have, interesting times ahead, absolutely. And, we will see how the statement that the CBN will make, and if the federal government will also make any statements as well. We're watching out for developments following this latest order. Thank you so much for talking to us. Former second vice president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Monday Ubani.